Persona 4 Golden is the best visual novel I've ever played that disguises itself as a bad RPG. The plot of the game follows you as a new student, who's moved into a small town called Inaba for 1 year. But just when you arrive, a string of murders has been started. It's up to you to find the killer, and at the same time live out your social and academic life in this new town. And it's in that second half where the game really shines. The story is expertly written, and the characters feel so authentic. Your party is more of a band of misfits. They don't necessarily get along with each other perfectly, but that's what makes them feel so real. They all have individual social links where you get to learn more about their fears, goals, and motivations, but when they all come together, they're still able to have that authentic chemistry. Each of the side characters has enough depth to be the star of their own game, and yet Persona 4 just puts them as side quests for you to discover. And it all feels cohesive. Even when the game likes to take a more relaxing tone, there's always this sense of looming danger that comes with the serial murderer living in Inaba. I think the main story is a bit formulaic to begin with, but around halfway through the in-game year, things really start to pick up steam, and you'll be faced with legitimate emotional stakes and tough decisions. The small countryside town of Inaba as a setting is fantastic. It feels like a puzzle that slowly starts to crack the more time you spend in it. The game expertly strings you along with breadcrumbs to try and improve your personal stats to explore more of the game. Like how you can't pick certain dialogue options without enough understanding, or how you can't enter the shrine at night without enough courage. Each and every in-game day, the game forces you to make incredibly tough decisions. You could have sports practice, culture club practice, have a job, want to study, and have your friends who want to hang out all on the same day. It is purely up to you as a player what to pursue, as you only realistically get 2 actions per day. It is a perfectly crafted balancing act that works because each of these side quests are equally as compelling. It's absolutely bursting at the seams with content to the point where even halfway through the game, I found new social links to pursue through my own discovery. I was so invested in these characters, so interested in finding everything the game had to offer, that Persona 4 made me think about each and every dialogue option before I even thought about picking it. And that is a sign of a truly great video game story. I would give Persona 4 Golden a perfect 10 out of 10. That is, if story was the only thing that mattered. And unfortunately, Persona 4 Golden still has the other half, the RPG side. You see, the killer of Inaba has been throwing his victims into the TV, where there's a whole alternate reality. And it is there, detached from reality, we find the RPG elements and dungeons of Persona 4. If I had to give it one thing, I do like how the social links you complete in the real world affect the TV world. Like how becoming closer to your party members can give them better skills. But that's about it. My main issue with the game is that all of the dungeons are randomly generated. At first, that sounds great. Like, oh, that means that every time you go through them, it'll be a fresh experience. What it actually means is that every single dungeon is made up of the same straight, featureless hallways. They are easily forgettable and incredibly monotonous. There's very little to differentiate them, as they all play the exact same. You walk onto a floor, you walk in a straight line, fight an enemy, rinse and repeat, until you might have to complete the riveting task of opening a door. The combat is decent, although not as polished or fun as SMT4. But because it was all that was keeping these dungeons remotely interesting, I got bored of it surprisingly quickly. The enemy design doesn't help with this either. It feels like there's 15 of them that are constantly recycled, and later dungeons are just filled with palette swaps. While the boss design is excellent, the fights themselves need a bit of work. Once again, drawing comparison to its mother series, in SMT4, each of your party members could be intricately customized through an elaborate sequence of fusions, making sure no matter what level you were, you could beat a boss through your own knowledge. In Persona 4, too often did I run into bosses that felt like stat walls. I found myself grinding before every single boss fight. A process I found so unenjoyable, it led me to playing the game on easy mode, which is usually not the way you want to find out about a game's fantastic accessibility options. For its excellent balance between its side quests and the real world, actually playing the game of Persona 4 became something I tried to do as little as possible. My final score for Persona 4 Golden is a 7.5 out of 10. After all my issues with the game, I still think this is a must-buy for any RPG fan, and non-fans should definitely keep this game on your radar. I think it just needs better thought-out dungeons and maybe a bit of reworking to its combat, but those issues really pile up after playing the game for so long. But I still maintain that this game has an excellent story, with memorable characters and countless side quests for you to dig your teeth into. So if you're looking for that type of game, you should definitely give Persona 4 Golden a spin. I promise, it won't disappoint you. Oh yeah, by the way, Kanji is the best character. Hey guys, a bit of a different video today. I was gonna make a standard episode, but then I realized that just talking about one aspect of this game wouldn't really do my feelings for it justice. I've also always wanted to review something, it just makes me feel like a real YouTuber. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. I'll see you next time. Bye!